Are you thinking about becoming an expat, but you're confused and don't know where to start? Well, in this series of videos of how to become an expat successfully, I'm going to be breaking down to you some of the things that will help you along your journey. So let's go ahead and get into the introduction. Hey, my name is Jason. If you haven't seen the channel before, well, I'm 10 years into the game as an expat/nomad. I'm on my fourth country, third continent, here in the southern region of Africa, in Lusaka, Zambia. And one of the things I started doing over these 10 years now is sharing what I've learned to be successful at this. But most importantly, if you're already an expat or thinking about becoming one, why you should be thinking of Lusaka, Zambia as an option, because there's a lot of opportunities here and no one is talking about them. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. So today is how to be an expat part 3. If you saw the first 2 parts, I talked to you about how you have to understand budgeting. You have to be realistic about, are you financially able to take care of yourself? All of those different things. And in today's video, we're going to talk about expectations. This is very important when you're trying to become an expat. Oh, that's delicious. Drinking some moringa tea with honey. And then I use some supplements that powder for men. If you're a man and you're over your 40s, make sure you're doing your supplementation. There's so many things within our natural day-to-day life that is harming us. Just be on top of your health and prioritize your health. I know a lot of men don't do that, and so that's why I wanted to just add that in there. Now, so what do I mean by managing your expectations? When you first leave the United States or your home country, if you're in the UK, wherever you are, it's going to feel like paradise. Everything is going to feel perfect. Everything is going to feel wonderful. It's like, man, I'm living the dream. But eventually those dreams, you have to wake up from them. Like I tell people, when I finally woke up from my American dream, I realized it was a nightmare. Everything that I was trying to do to be the right person, buying the house, having the cars, all of these things, I was keeping up with the Joneses. And the reality of it is I didn't like the Joneses. So it was like, why am I trying to keep up with people I don't even like? And it's going to be the same thing whether you come to Zambia or any other country that you decide to move to. There's always going to be good and bad. And so to manage your expectations, you have to understand how to compare why you left to the problems that are where you are now. And then that's when you decide if it's time to go. I've done this with Colombia. I've done this with Panama. And those were the things. This is how I learned how to do it. Most people, what I've saw is they compare the good things of the U.S. to the bad things in the new country. That is not an accurate way to compare. You compare the bad things of the United States, the reasons why you left, to the bad things in the new country. And then you weigh them side by side and see which one is better. And so what I mean by that is, like for me, for example, one of the reasons I left the United States was I did not feel it was safe. There was too much gun violence. At that time, people started walking around with AR-15s, AK-47s. I'm from Texas. And I was like, look, this is just mental illness right now. I'm like, there is no huge problem here to where you need to feel protected walking around with an assault rifle. I'm sorry. Some people may disagree with me. However, I was in the military. I did go to war. And nowhere in the United States have I ever felt that it was a war zone or that I need to walk around with body plated armor and an AR-15 or AK-47. And I owned the AK-47 plus other weapons. And I never felt the need that it was where I need to walk around with it. And so that was one of the main reasons. Here, it's extremely safe. The worst thing that may happen here is if you leave your car unlocked or a window down or even a window or something open in your house, someone may come in and steal something. Petty theft. Like, I will give up gun violence any day of the week to deal with petty theft. Petty theft is something that anyone can handle. It happens everywhere in the world. I'm pretty sure if you go to the Vatican, they probably have petty theft there. They just don't talk about it. So that is how you want to compare. Now, even with comparing the good things, You don't just compare the good things of the new country you're in to the bad things of the country you left. Because of course it's going to sound great. And this is where a lot of expats who are doing videos, I believe they're sometimes overselling the countries they're in because they're making it seem like it's just this paradise. It's not. Look, guys, like I deal with load shedding here. You deal with, it's a difficult thing to find people who are actually good working people, meaning good at their job. There's a lot of people that will do shoddy work. It's just a fact. So like I have a dedicated plumber, a dedicated electrician. I have people that are dedicated that I know that are real good at their craft, but they actually do great work and don't overcharge you to do things around for me. But if you talk to some people, they're going to tell you, or if you get into some of these expat groups, they're going to tell you, like, oh man, the workers are horrible. It's because they haven't vetted people, and also they're not using locals. Like if you're not getting recommendations from people who are local, you're not going to be getting the best people. Just because you see people promoting on Facebook or advertising with social media does not mean they're the most adequate for the job. It just means they're trying to utilize marketing a lot better. That's delicious. I love starting my morning off with some tea and ending my day with tea. And so you want to manage all those expectations. One of the things that I do, there's a diasporan group that I am in, a Telegram that's here. And so like whenever I find someone who does really good work, I just let them know like, hey guys, this is someone I trust, done really good work. Here's their number, their name, and just pass them on that way. Now, Zambia is different than other countries. Zambia does not have a huge expat population. It's slowly starting to build here because you don't see much awareness of Zambia from the internet market, especially not within the diasporan communities. And so because of that, you have to understand coming to a country like here, you're laying a lot of the groundwork. This is one of the things I love about Zambia too. Is like I know there's a lot of groundwork that I'm doing here. Like when I'm going to town, you don't see many Americans going to town. You don't even see many white people in town. You may see a few here and there. You just don't see many people go to these places, and it's all of this uncharted territory that no one really knows about. Uncharted prices that people don't really know about. Like I'm going to town tomorrow. I know this is a little off topic, but I'm going to town tomorrow because I'm going to go pick up some things, but also a friend of mine here, they're looking for coffee grinders. And I told him, I was like, I can probably find one for you for maybe $5 or $6 instead of you paying $20, $30 in the malls here. And the same thing you're buying in the mall is exactly what I'm finna go get from town. And so like, it's those little things about Zambia in particular that a lot of people just don't know, because if you don't go, you're never going to find these places. And that's where my kind of nomadic spirit comes into place. I like to really see how the locals live. What are the local prices, things of that nature. And because I do that, it really keeps my expectations very managed. I know exactly a realistic budget of how much I'm spending here. I have a budget so like I'm gonna show you one day on a video. I have a money binder. It has, I put in money for my bills. I put in money for entertainment, savings. I think there's one more, food, groceries. And so it has those budget, and I take out money every month and I put those in there. And that's how I budget, even to this day. Like, I know sometimes people be thinking like, yo, you got all the answers. You're doing things correctly. Man, you're great. No, I'm human just like you. Like, I make mistakes. There's times I overspend. There's times I may not follow a budget. So I put these things in place that keeps me on track. Because the one thing about living an expat life, you have to understand no one's coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. You're completely on your own in a foreign country, and you may make friends and stuff there, but it's not like back at home where you may be able to go to a family member, hey, can I borrow $20, do this or that? It's not like that. You're on your own. It's complete independence. And so financial independence really, really is very important here. And this is why I say you have to manage your expectations. Don't think you're going to just be traveling every week or going out every single day. Your first 3 months, you're going to spend a lot of money. I'm going to be honest with you. I tell everybody because you're in paradise syndrome. And paradise syndrome is you're seeing everything is more affordable. Um, Everything is nicer. Everyone's happy because when you first come to a place, your energy is different. And because your energy is so much strong with positivity, you're only going to see the positive things around you. However, the longer time you stay, like once you get past that 3 month, 6 month, 9 month mark, you get back into a regular routine. A lot of the things that you're used to seeing that was new, it wears off. And once it starts wearing off, you get more into a negative mood. And it doesn't mean that you're a negative person. It's just the way the society everywhere is designed. We're designed to focus on negativity. That's why mainstream media only shares negative media. That's why politicians use negativity to get elected. That's why if you ask most people how their day going, if they really start talking about their day, they're complaining. Most people are not happy. And it's because we haven't been primed to focus on positivity. So you're going to have to actually find things to make you happy. And it has to be things internally within you, like simple things. Like right now, you see me, I'm sitting outside, I have my feet in the grass, grounding. It's a real cool breeze out because we're starting to slowly transition into winter time. So the temperature's getting a little cooler. I'm looking at the palm trees of my neighbor. I'm probably going to go pick a few lemons in the back. And that might be all I do today. Like even here, I have the brazier going because my stove quit working yesterday. So I'm waiting on the electrician to come by to look at it. But like, I'm not doing much and I'm happy. But ask yourself, could you do those little simple things right now? Just sit outside, feeling the breeze blowing by you, watching the trees just blow in the wind. Would that make you happy? Some people would say no. Some people would say yes. Some people would say, man, I would die for that day to live like that. But like, those are the things that you can do. And that's how you can live here. Like when my mom came to visit me in South Africa, a lot of people had this big misconception. Like, I'm out every day. I'm going out. I'm doing this. I'm partying, or I'm going to these different events. Now, I do go to different places, yes, but that might be once or twice a month or once or twice every 3 months. Like next month, I'm going to another fashion show of my girlfriend, go to support her. But outside of that, I don't do a lot of things. Yes, I go maybe eat out once a week or something like that, or go have a nice brunch. But for the most part, I'm in my house, and you want to get comfortable with that because you have to start getting comfortable with yourself. You're going to be spending a lot of time with yourself. Your mind is just going to be going, going, going. And like I was telling a buddy yesterday, that's in the U.S. that's eventually going to be making their way out here. I told him, like, look, your biggest hurdle when you first get here and leave the U.S. is slow down. Just slow down, relax. I don't think a lot of people realize, especially if you're in the U.S. or like the U.K., like you're constantly going, moving. There's always something. Like how he said, he's like, man, it's 30 days in the month. I'm paying a bill every single 30 days. And I was like, bro, I'm going to be real with you. Once you get here, you probably paying a bill twice, 2 days out of the month. That's it. Anything else you're spending is because you want to go spend it. And you have to slow down. I remember in Panama, it was hard. Now, Panama, when you go by water people move slow. Water people are slow. They had a thing called mañana time, which means tomorrow. Even when I was getting my internet, it took like 4 or 5 days for my internet to come through. And I'm like, dude, y'all, we have a set appointment here. Like, you're supposed to be here this day. They was like, oh, mañana. And then eventually it got to the point where I finally slowed down, but it took me like 6, 7 months. It was hard because like I was being frustrated. I had these expectations because I couldn't slow down. And that's another part that's going to help with your expectations is the faster you can just slow down and relax, the faster you're going to just start enjoying your life. And you're going to take away all of this nonsense pressure that we've been put on us, that we've been told to put on us. Because one of the things, and I still have to do a video on it, is visioneering. I'm going to break down visioneering because the more you're in hurry, the more you're going to make mistakes. It's actually not godly to be in a rush or be in a hurry. Think about it. Last time you were probably in a car and you was speeding, you was in a rush because had to get somewhere on time. How many near miss calls did you have as far as maybe having an accident or something bad just happening? Or when you was in a rush doing something, you may have forgotten something that you needed. Like I can tell you this story. Like it was the last Christmas Cece and I had with her family. And so that Christmas, I was actually planning on proposing to her while we were there with her family. But everything in the world was going wrong. I was so frustrated because we had to drive 4 hours to Houston. I was frustrated. You know, we didn't have things packed. We was in a hurry. Like she had just got off her night shift. I think I had just finished working wherever I was. I think I was still at the post office in O'Reilly at that time. I quit working security. I had just got off. I had to close up the post office and stuff. And we was like, man, let's just hurry up and drive there so we can beat the holiday traffic. And so doing all of that, I left the ring, forgot it right there where I hid it so she couldn't see it. And I was so upset with myself because I really wanted it to be something special. And like, that's what being in a hurry does. Like you want to slow down. When people are like, man, how are you able to see all the things that are here, find out all this information? I don't move fast. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. And so like, I'm not trying to learn Zambia in one day. I like to really take my time. I like to really hear different people. Once I start hearing certain things over and over again, and I'm like, okay, there's something here. I need to look deeper here. Okay, there's something there. Let me go look deeper there. And that's how I do it. I do it through visioneering. When I first was told when I got here how affordable land is compared to other countries, I focused all of my energy on, okay, let me just find some land. First piece of land I went to, it was a scam. They were trying to rip us off. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was traditional land. The head man wasn't there. The chief wasn't there. They told us it was title land at first, and they changed that. Like, oh no, it's traditional. The price they changed once they heard our accents, and then they was asking for money up front. And I'm like, I'm not giving you that much money up front. Like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know nothing about you. And so it was just all these different things. And then after that, went to look at some other land. They ended up replacing the chief. So then the guy was letting me know, like, hey, don't get land right now. And then I finally found someone who I trusted, and we communicate even to this day. I'll be going to see them probably Tuesday or Wednesday to do one of my last payments on for the plots that I purchased. And then I'm buying more land from them. And so like I use them a lot just for buying land. That's how then I was able to hear about the council to purchase land directly from the town council. Like that's how I figured these things out. It's about moving slow, stop having too much expectations, and just really started realizing and accepting that, look, at the end of the day, I'm in a different country, but guess what? I'm still on the same planet. I'm on planet Earth. You're going to run into the same problems like you'll run anywhere else in the world. Nothing makes Zambia special to where you're not going to have scammers. You're not going to have people trying to rip you off. But also that means there's good people out there. So I go searching for the good people. And you can have that same dream or that same life while being an expat. But like, please understand, like, Don't have the expectation that this is just some paradise. Everything's gonna be super affordable. There's things that's expensive here. Don't get me wrong. There's things that are expensive here too, but if you come with it realistically and understand you're still on the same planet. Capitalism exists everywhere, consumerism exists everywhere, and good and bad people exist everywhere. It's going to make your time a lot easier being an expat. And also, it's going to make your ability to do this long term a lot simpler, also. Because a lot of people, if you truly ask them why they stopped the expat life or why they went back home, outside of financial issues, most of it was the expectations that they had in their mind did not add up to what they were doing when they were in the country. And usually it takes about 2 years for most people to make that decision to go back because they just don't know how to live and accept the place realistically for what it is. And then you end up having some of them 5 to 10 years later, they'll come back and tell you like, man, I wish I never stopped. I should have kept going. One thing I made a promise for myself was when the time comes that I'm no longer on this planet, I never want the words to come out of my mouth. I wish I would have done this. Like, I want to take a chance at everything, no matter how crazy it is. And that's what I'm doing with this expat life. Like, I am not going back to the United States. I plan on maybe going back to visit a few more times because there's still people that I care about and love. But outside of that, I will never live back there. I'm now probably going to live the rest of my life in Africa because, man, I've never found places this safe. This safe and affordability is just crazy. And so if you have any questions or comments, also, if you're an expat, let people know in the comments, man. Like, I don't want people thinking like, oh, Jason's special. I'm not special. I'm telling you right now, I am not special. There are other people that are out here doing this too. And we need to start voicing up and talking about our experiences, letting people know like, look, man, this is the stuff that happened. Because unfortunately, even today, a buddy of mine sent me a message. He's like, man, I was researching some stuff in Zambia before I come out there to visit. And I ran across this video, I hate Zambia. And it's sad, like negativity will reach so much more people than a positive video. And I had to explain to him, I was like, dude, that her expectations were unreal. Like, you're in a border town. Also, you're expecting people to kiss your butt just because you're the American. Like, these people are working hard, man. The same way you in the U.S., if there's a foreigner coming in to visit, you're not stopping everything to get to know them. You just like, look, man, I ain't got time. I got to get home, get some sleep, get back and do this rat race again tomorrow. It's the same thing here. There's really great people here, but you have people that's tired. And especially if you're near a tourist area. Tourist towns work harder than other places. And they deal with so many different personalities, so many different accents. Like, sometimes they tired. And give them a break. And so just wanted to share that, man. Like, make sure if you're an expat, let people know how you're enjoying your time. Like, what are some of the things that are helping you become an expat long term? Because you may be seeing something that I don't see. And that's the beauty. If we share more information, it's going to be helping more people and help their transition become a lot smoother. We're in a new world now. And now the world it's a new form of colonization. It's about being an expat. It's about repatriating. It's about moving to different countries, setting up businesses, taking advantage of the money that you may have earned or the money that you have coming in monthly. And I'm going to tell you right now, Africa is one of the places a lot of us are not looking. And there are other countries just as good outside of countries like Ghana and Kenya. And don't be afraid to go somewhere where other people may not be talking about. And just remember this, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.